What's up, Jim?
Good session this morning.
I know, that was fun. Fun to get out there.
So, I was going through the storage shed to bring stuff here because we're like redecorating and everything.
Look at all these boards.
I know, but look at this one. The original classic. The original proto.
This is the original proto. Look at that thing. I love it, all black. We had to keep it black to keep it kind of low key so people didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Look how sharp those fins were.
I remember we showed it off in the booth like this because the real board wasn't even ready.
Wasn't ready yet, yeah.
But we didn't want to keep it a secret any longer.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, you went through a bunch of boards to get to here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think the evolution of what we did and the fact that this board is actually still in the line too. We came out with this board in 2006.
14 years.
14 years and this board's still in the line.
Because it works.
But I mean, you've got all the originals here. And I mean, what, this board, this is the Helix. This board was ahead of its time. We came, I think we released this one in 2012, or I think 2000.
Right
so
before,
20 years
before
ago.
the Nationals.
20 years, holy crap.
The first 9 in competition.
Yep. Yeah, this board was a bit ahead of its time. I remember, I think I was first riding like the Super Squirt or something like that, which was just a basic board in the line. But you guys were like, hey, we need to make you a pro model board. What do you want in a board? And I think I remember at the time, Byerly was riding. I think he came out with a finless board, and I was like, I want a finless board.
I remember that shape was so insane.
Yeah. So you came up with this radical design, which I mean. I absolutely love this board. I had crazy pop, rode amazing for myself. I don't think everybody else necessarily loved it, but yeah, I mean,
well,
I remember you kind of went through some challenges just to design this board.
Well, the rails were so sharp. I mean, that was what worked for you if you know what you're doing, but very unforgiving.
Yeah.
But of all the protos, I remember this took the longest to shape because I wanted to shape away everything that wasn't a wakeboard.
Yeah.
So I started with like literally, I mean, it had some rocker in it, but it was pretty much a giant thick slab of foam. And it actually, it's funny, I found the rocker template. And it's the funkiest rocker template because it actually gets thicker as it goes to the ends. Yeah. Because I had to have everything that was going to be a fin. And I shaped away everything that, wasn't a fin. And that took forever. That took like, it took a couple days to shape this thing and get it all dialed in. And to get it symmetrical too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just some crazy.
The Glassers sure love me.
Yeah, just like this single concave in through here with like this deep. Yeah, I mean.
Everything flow. The cool thing about this is, having to figure the board out of a big old slab of foam. It was more sculpting than shaping. Yeah. And all the lines had to flow because it's the only way, you could make a fin grow out of a channel. Yeah. Is to literally shape it in there.
You were talking about that, when you were shaping it. So, but yeah, I mean, this board was, I thought it was one of my most all-time favorite boards, but it definitely wasn't a board that anybody could get on and ride. Like, you had to be at that top level, and that's if you even wanted to ride this thing. So after, I think we went through 2 or 3 different years of this board with a few different variations, and then we came out with the substance. I told you, I said, hey, I want a board that I can ride at my, highest level for competition riding, but then I also want a board that anybody can get on from beginner, novice level, all the way up to pro level. A board that's going to be, a staple. It's going to be a board that everybody wants to ride, and I think we accomplished that because I loved it, and everyone else in the team loved it as well. But it was so much more of a user-friendly shape than the Helix. Yeah. I mean, the softer rail through the middle. This is one where it actually had a slight lifted bevel here. Yeah. The fins, they're still super long. I mean, this channel just turns into a fin really early, but it's a lot shallower. And then we got rid of that big molded in fin in the middle. Exactly. Yeah, we put a spot to put a fin if you wanted to. Most people wouldn't ride it, but if you were very beginner and you needed a board that needed that extra grip, we put those center fin in there. But it widened the tail out a little. Yeah. And then softened the rocker a little so it wasn't as aggressive. Yeah. Nice clean graphic. I mean, I remember this was awesome. So, but yeah, I think we had this board in the line for, I think it was about 4 years. One of our best-selling boards. Everyone on the team rode it. Kind of, started generating other boards off of it, and then it was time to. It was time for another new board. Time for another new board, and that's where this classic came from, man. It was. I mean, that's obviously that's the original. This is the prototype that we made. But I remember this is the most everybody remembers this board. This is the original classic, which came out in 2006. So it's been 14 years. And like I said, it's kind of crazy to see that this board is still in the line.
I've tried to kill it a couple times. It just keeps coming back. But I mean, you know, it was cool because I remember, like with the Substance, you went, hey, I want a board that, you know, more people can appreciate.
Yeah.
And then as wakes got bigger, then the first thing was, can we make it land softer?
Exactly, yeah.
And then putting that double concave, getting rid of the single concave and putting a double concave through the middle helps, you know, split the water, break the water when you land.
Yeah, because
slowed the board down a little.
Definitely slowed it down, but it was good. I mean, because like this belly right here is higher than both edges of the board, right? Mm-hmm. And that's designed to make it so that it lands softer and disperses water, which I think we did a pretty good job on that.
And that's where the whole hybrid rocker thing came from, is, you know, we didn't want that aggressive 3-stage where you have a big flat spot, which would be exaggerated even more, you know, with this double concave. But it's kind of blending that 3-stage with a continuous, so the curve gets softer. It's just a nicer blend.
Yeah.
From the middle through the tip, and then we really shortened the fins from the Substance.
Yeah.
But made them really crisp. I remember these were actually, you know, handmade fiberglass blades that were glassed into place on the board. Yeah. And then we had to figure out how to be able to mold them and keep them that crisp.
Keep the graphic clean and
yeah, and then these channels, vented channels.
Yeah.
And it was this glasser I was working with. He's a Peruvian guy and really does a lot of experimental stuff. And it helps break up the flow and kind of release off of the channel, so it would keep the board alive and not have it be draggy.
Yeah.
And I remember we played a lot with how close we could get to the fin and not have the fin, you know, cavitate. And then putting this through the center really helped provide some lift and help offset, you know, the drag that the double concave started.
Yeah.
And then it just flowed through a nice wide, you know, even fuller tip than the Substance.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, this is, and then we come into 2020, this is the same board 20 years later. But, you know, it's kind of crazy too to think, you know, a lot of people ask, like, why is this board still in the line? It's been, people have tried to kill it. Reps just don't want it to go out of line because it just keeps selling. It's now one of our price point boards anybody can get on and ride. But it's kind of crazy when you look at the line of boards. Like you look at the Raft, the RDX.
Yeah.
It's basically based exactly off this. Raft said, "Hey, I remember when you guys were working on it. He said, I want the classic, but I want it a little faster.
Yeah.
I want, you know, a few different things with the belly. Wanted to get rid of this the double concave.
Even Harley.
Even Harley, yeah.
Even Harley, like
Harley,
everybody, they were either on the Trip or they were on the Classic. And every board in the line pretty much grew from those two boards. So Harley.
Yeah, so Harley said, he was like, I want the Classic, but I want screw-on fins.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to be a little faster, but
Raft wanted molded in fins, but just a little faster, so we adjusted the rocker. Yeah. Worked with the, you know, through the middle of the board. Yeah. But still, you know, everything coming from the Classic. Yeah. I think more pro riders on LF have ridden the Classic than any other shape.
For sure. And then nowadays, it's mostly like our top boat riders are riding probably the RDX, just because it's that newer, updated version of the Classic. But yeah, man, stoked. It's been an awesome 20 years.
It's been rad. I mean, it's cool. The Classic is the perfect name for the board because it's
classic.
It's classic.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Right on. Cool. Thanks, man.